Hey y'all, it's me again, Joey. I pretty much reached the goal that I wanted to get to this year for my beekeeping shed. And I got everything brought in, or most everything brought in, some that don't need to be in here. But let's just do a little walkthrough. Let me show you what I got. Okay, we got our bottling tank brought in, got some shelves put up. My son donated these shelves to me, some he had left over out of his store. He actually gave me enough that I could go wider or just spin it around and go back to back with them. But this may be enough because a lot of stuff sitting here is not going to stay in here, and I can adjust them, and I'll probably get my wife to help organize a little bit better in here. But this is the main thing I wanted up here. I knew this was going to go here in the club coffee pot. But anyway, got the shelves, got a little sugar there. This is my honey warming box. I think I got a little bit in here. I got a couple boxes of honey that was just bottled up. I emptied that out, or bottled them up to make my bottling tank a little lighter. I got one bucket. That is a 2019 bucket of honey. I just made light come on. That is a 2019 bucket of honey. I just opened it up to get it uncrystallized or get it liquefied and add it to the bottling tank. Of course, if you've watched a couple of my videos, you've probably seen my little cheap extractor. But there it is. This has been in storage for 3 or 4 years. It's a sideliner uncapper. My wife wanted it. We went up to Minnesota on vacation. We stopped by Man Lake and she saw this thing in there. It was on the sale floor and we got it at a good price. Got it and the tank at a good price. Somebody had tried it and brought it back. But I think it's going to do pretty good. What you do, you take your honeycomb. I hope y'all can see this. But anyway, you lay your frame down in here. I'm trying to do this looking through the camera. Lay that in there and it goes through these rollers. You just crank it in. And it's supposed to uncap everything. So we're gonna give it a try this year. Anyway, there's a little bit of my wax stuff that I collected last year. Little table. It's not staying here. I think I'm gonna get a different table for here. This thing here, this tank right here, I thought it was gonna be too big, but it really does the job. Now this is where I make my sugar water up, and it goes pretty fast. I got a little small water heater under there. I think it's a 7-gallon, so I can use warm water to start that up. While we at it, let's see, let's go ahead and look at this. I need to get these toolboxes out of here. This is one of my sugar water bottling tank, I guess you could call it, that I use for my jars. But mostly I use the 5-gallon in my bigger yard anyway. The 5-gallon container. I had to make one new one this year, but it's got the holes. I don't know if the lights letting you see that or not, but that's what I use in my bigger yard. Got my incubator sitting over here. There's nothing in it right now. I used it about a week or two ago for a few sales. And I just happen to have my observation hive in here right now. I I moved the bees, my little small colony I had that I actually brought in here to keep them warm during the cold weather. I put them in here to take to a class. I don't think the light's letting you get that, is it? Let's see. I don't know if you can see that or not. Very small colony. I think those sides are a little bigger. I got the queen up there somewhere. I also got these little windows down here. Can take this off. Let's see. All right. Just close them back up. While we're in here, let's go ahead and make some sugar water up. Let me get set up. Before we get started, I'm gonna tell you about yesterday. We had a little storm come through yesterday. A lot of people got a good bit of damage. Obviously a whole lot more than we did. I was on the porch when the rain first started coming yesterday, about 5:30 I think it was. And when it came in a hurry. And my son lives across the hollow from me, and if I look through the trees I can see their mobile home just slightly, just the pieces of it. But I was standing on that porch and all of a sudden the trees started leaning heavy, that wind was blowing, and I was trying to get inside and I heard banging noise up there. I said, oh my goodness, what's happening up there? I ran in the house to tell my wife a hurricane. I ran in the house to tell my wife that a tornado or something was coming. And I told her, and I ran back to the window to check on my son and his family. And I could see him coming down the driveway. We live on the same road. I could see him coming down the driveway blowing his horn. So I ran outside on the porch. I thought he had kids with him. They were all going to church. He had just got home from work. And our church service had been canceled for the night. But anyway, he told me that a tornado touched down up there or something, and I knew he was all scared. But he come inside to the weather had kind of slowed down. We called and checked on his family. They were fine in the church building and everything. But when the weather eased up, we went up there. Well, just watch this right here and you'll see what we found when we got back up at his mobile home. Tornado just missed us, or just missed my son's trailer. Took the basketball goal, took the trampoline, play set, wrecked the swimming pool. All the bees are okay. Push the sidewall, the swimming pool slam in. The rocking chair slam out the yard. I made a mess here. This is the worst. We gotta fix this before more rain comes. Now I realize that's not a lot of damage compared to what a lot of people got, but even though things got tore up, at the same time you have to near about feel blessed. He still had a trailer to sleep in at night, and that was all good. But what really tore him up, and I guess I'm getting totally off the subject, but what really tore him up, with the exception of the siding on the trailer, everything that got tore up belonged to his children. And that really tore that man up, and you can understand that when your children's stuff get tore up, how it goes, how you feel about it. But one man asked me, said, "Did you talk to Jesus?" I said, "Yes, sir." And I've seen worse. I remember one time a storm come through years ago. I was living in a mobile home then, and that's been years ago. But all of a sudden, rain started blowing in over the door, and I thought my wife was spraying a water hose. And I ran outside, and I saw she was still in the car, and she couldn't get her door open. I couldn't get the door open, and when I finally did, the storm door, it blew it open. That was the first time I ever seen two oak trees sitting there kissing each other like this. The wind was twisting them together. But we were fortunate that time too, because the tornado went over us and touched down about 3 miles down the road. And a neighbor of ours, his family was home in the trailer, and it actually picked it up and flipped it upside down and set it back down in the yard. But it wasn't long after that he built him an underground house. But let's get back to the sugar water. All right. Take one little rinse. We'll let it fill up while it's filling up, or while it's getting where it belongs. I'll grab the sugar. I'm gonna fast forward this till it gets the right place. Everybody's got different ways of doing this thing. Now this is hot water, but it's not burn your hands hot water, okay? It's pretty warm, maybe 140 degrees at the most. I don't want to cook anything, we're not making candy. What I'm making here is gonna be 1-to-1, or as close to one as you can get. I've got 2 10-pound bags, so we've got a total of 20 pounds. This is a 5-gallon bucket. The way I figure, I got 2.5 gallons of water. That ain't quite it. When you tilt this thing on a 45 and you get the top surface of the water just about to pour out, and the backside is right at the back of the bucket, you're about halfway with it. Pretty close. I don't know if the camera can even see that water in there. Alright, it's right at the bottom of the bucket on the back. So that's about a half a bucket. That's close to 20 pounds. Alright, so we'll open that sugar, get over the sink. I don't plan on getting my beet apiary much bigger than what it is. I overwintered about 25, I think, somewhere in there. And if I get any bigger, I'm gonna have to start making. I make nukes. That's the only reason I really feed. But I'm gonna have to start making the bigger containers. Can y'all see that? Okay. It's going to take about 2 minutes of doing this, and all the sugar is dissolved. I'm not putting that in the bucket, I'm just rinsing this off. But I'll let that sit. I'll let this sit here 30 minutes or so while I go do something else, and come back and hit it one more time for about another 3 or 4 minutes, and it'll be clear water. Oh, for you guys that do plumbing, right now we got that thing stuck way up here in RVs and in bathrooms where they couldn't get up through like a second story. I've always seen them under the sink. Since it's already brought out here, I think I'm going to cap it off to here, because I'm never going to fill this tub up. So if it runs over, I have it even right there. Once it gets to that point, the floor is getting ruined anyway, either way. Tell me what y'all think. I don't think I showed my thermostat. I might have talked about it before. But this is my thermostat to my, oh man. Another call about my car warranty. But anyway, I got the same controller on my warmer, same type as I got from my bottler and my incubator. I just thought I'd show you that. I've got another old freezer that I used to use for that. It's a little bit smaller. I actually like it better, but it needs some work on the paint. And I may end up bringing it in here and using it, because if I got honey I want to keep at 90 degrees and I need to bring up to about 100, 105 or no more than 110 for like a big bucket to decrystallize, then I have to take the honey that I'm just want to keep at 90 high temperature out. But I can set another one right here beside it, a smaller one, and raise it up to 110 with another controller. And that way bring that up to 110. I won't have to bother with my bottles. I want to just keep warm. But that's about all I got with my little beekeeping shed. Somebody called it a honey house, but I said it's not really a honey house. I said I might call it the honey box. And I said sometimes I don't know where to call it, a honey box or the dog house. It depends. All right, I appreciate y'all coming along. I just wanted to show you the completion of this stage in the game. I may do something a little different with the shells, add them, I don't know. Just depends on where I need them or not. But my next step is a little front deck. I want to put a deck out on front with a little cover on it, and that'll keep the rain off the front door, because you can't make these things waterproof with these, especially the front doors on these sheds. You'll get water blown in if you don't watch it. But then my next stage is to come off side of that with a little ramp where I can dolly all my honey boxes up. But that may be 22. I don't know if I'll get that this year. It may be in 22 when we do that. Okay, all right, I appreciate y'all watching. If you like the videos, give us a thumbs up. We'll see you on the next one.